Hey there, comic book friends and fiends. It's Rob here for the Great Wall of Comics. It's Saturday, it's Slabber Day, and that means it's time for OnlySlabs. We bring on, I want to bring on my good friend from Canada, but he's wearing a stupid hat. Chris, how are you?
I'm handsome. I'm handsome.
Well, debatable.
I just want to say, like, we have a tremendous guest. But if he's rocking NFL clothing,
I told you that nobody's perfect, man.
I have to do the same thing.
Whatever.
I'm just saying, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our guest today, John, Big Daddy's Comics. How are you doing today, John?
I'm doing very good. How about you?
I'm great. I love football season. It makes everybody very tribal, I suppose. All right, let's do what we normally do here, which is we will follow the rules of YouTube and the edicts laid down by those content creators before us, and we'll play Romper Room.
Romper Bomper, Stomper Boo, tell me, do. Magic Mirror, tell me today, did all my friends have fun at play?
Well, this Crucius is here. Hooray! Happy Slabber Day from Canada, everyone, says Marty Alechko, as he drops that first $2 super chat, as he does, to say, let's get the donation ball rolling. Of course, all these donations, super chats are donations. They all go to support Comics Curing Cancer. Thank you so much. Marty, this is for you. And then bang. It's gonna be one of those days. My clips are freezing again. This is just like,
it's all good on our end, Rob.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like guessing when to turn off the comments and stuff, and that's Ronnie Johnson. I cherish peace and Slabber Day with all my heart. Oh, thank you so much. That's great. This one's for you.
Thank you.
Slabberdaberdoo, says Cliff on Comics. Robert Monroe, happy Slabber Day. F Cancer, thank you. Comics Avalon, Jonathan, happy Slabber Day, everyone. Hope everyone's having an incredible weekend. Shop for Comics afternoon to all the Slabbernauts out there. Cat Fan Comics Man, happy Slabber Day, my fellow Slabberific, Slabtastic, only Slab fans. Thank you. Let's see here. Whoa, Jay knows the way. So let's go, peeps. Remember to throw a couple dollars in the donation jar. It's for the fight against cancer, as opposed to it's for cancer. But we knew what you intended, and that's the important thing. Going right out of the bat with the big one for you, sir.
Like
I made it today. Let's Izzy go, says Izzy. Mr. Comics 89 reporting for OnlySlabs from South Korea. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Wow.
Let's see. Bat Dan over in the UK says Saturday equals Slabber Day. Whoop 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 whoop. Australia swings in. It's Never Fear Mad Spidey is here to drop $14.99 Australian dollar super chat. Thank you so much. Spidey, this one's for you.
I bet she gives great helmet.
Kiss me. No.
Lord Helmet, what? You're needed on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door. Knock next time.
Wonder Twin Powers activate on that opening. I'm not sure which one of us shapes forms into like water-based stuff, but you know, the other one's an animal, I suppose. Grr.
Yeah.
Hello from the land of smelly feet and big bottoms. Happy Slabber Day. All right.
Is that like the entire planet?
Let's see here. Dale of Comics. Hello. Phil Ailing. Hello, people. Let's see here. The great or the good Dr. Von Hoot's Comics from this proud to mention drops 5 pounds per chat. Happy Slabber Days, ladies and gents. And I'm sure he's being kind enough to use that term, ladies and gents, in the loosest possible connotation. But we really appreciate that, sir.
That beautiful bean footage.
Brian Klott says, "Go Bills."
Go Bills.
Jay Knows Away says, "Buffalo." Boo, sir. Boo.
Go Bills.
When the Bills played in LA a few years ago, Bills Mafia took over most of each, and they were awesome. I think for a while, when anybody was playing in LA, they just took over because the LA fans weren't showing up. I remember watching several games on TV with the Niners playing down there, where it was more red in the stands than there was the Rams blue. Let's see here. Speak for yourself, Wayne. Boo Patriots. Let's see. Kate Prime says, "Good morning, all. Go Pats, go." Kenneth Bird says, "Hello to everyone. Can't we all just get along?" Let's see here. I want to say hello to the Adventurous Joe. Happy Slabber Day, everyone. Make sure you hug and show much love to your loved ones every single chance you get, because there's never a second chance anymore. Make them all count. Thank you so much. See, the real James Willie says, "Good morning and afternoon to all, and Rob and Chris and Big Daddy Comics."
Thank you.
That's good.
Let's see here. Knucking Futz 1. Hello, Rob, and the one and only they call Chris. And happy guests. And guess happy these guys have a Slabber Day. Cancer suck it. Yeah, well. Read bad, not I good. It's true. That's why I read. It's why I read comics and not novels, really, because not great at reading. But let's see, who else do we need to say hello to? Also true, yeah, true. Let's see, the palm gets the bean again. Coincidence? I think not. It just happens sometimes. Jay Knows the Way. Rob, make Chris say "Go Packers."
Okay.
Well, what are you going to do? Thank you so much.
You know, I'm very conflicted about how I'm supposed to feel watching this.
Fortunately, we could read your lips very well, so that was good.
Can you hear me? I don't know what was happening.
Tomaverse says, "Hey, Cat fan, have you ever watched Canadian football? Why would anyone want to do that?"
That's some of the most exciting football in the world. It's 3 downs. We don't need 4. 3. Carry on.
Not true. All right.
Great football.
Let's see. And then 32 months. Let's go. All right. And with that, I think we've gotten through the chat. Thank you guys all so much for coming on by, checking us out, and saying hello. We'll kick the show off. We will move our man John up to the position of power. We'll make him big. And then we'll ask him to tell us about that time you were exploring the Egyptian pyramids and came across a radioactive meteorite that you thought was the Orb of Ra, and it suddenly had new chemical composition powers.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, I always joke that I'm one of the older people in the community. I was born in '64, so I got into comics when really at a pretty young age. I grew up in a really small town in West Virginia, and didn't have access to any places that sold comic books. So it was really catching stuff as I could. So the first things I remember are Casper, the cartoon.
Yeah.
And picking up comics. My parents would buy me comics, Casper and Hot Stuff and stuff like that. But my brothers are quite a bit older than me. And 67, the Spider-Man cartoon came out. Yes. And my brother started giving me his Spider-Man comics. So
banger.
Flare down on
8.5 first appearance of the Shocker. That is banger, baby.
So this is 1967. The first issue I really remember is the first Rhino.
Oh.
But this was right about that time frame. Couldn't read it, just looked at it, etc. This is not the original, Yeah, there's a lot of weight here. I'm concerned about the floor.
At least it's along the walls, right? You hope it's stronger there. Let's see. Casper 1 9.0 just sold on Heritage for $45,000.
Wow.
That was shocking. It's interestingly, and I'm just going to take the opportunity to say it, as you held up that book there, that first Shocker, for somebody who doesn't have a copy, there's going to be a copy available at Comics Curing Cancer.
Well, I'm struggling to complete my ASM run, which I know you have a number 1 behind you. That's the only
I've got my 1 through 102 right now, slabbed, all graded books. There's a few in there I want to upgrade, but overall, that was a box that was a pain in the butt to check. That was for sure.
Yeah, I've had a 1, which I'll get into later, but I'm complete now from 2 to 441.
Nice.
So
not all graded though.
No.
Yeah.
I can't afford all that.
Yeah, that was for me as a first. I wanted to get that first 100 slab. The rest of them, yeah, those are raw books. There's a few obviously that are keys that are graded, but yeah, I understand. Awesome. First book kicking us off with that Shocker. I like that. It was a nice bit of a surprise.
Yeah, growing up in a small town, the thing that was always a struggle is we would trade comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Sit on the porch, trade comic books, try to get a story together, things like that. And it was really whoever went to the nearest towns, and their parents would buy them comic books, and then we would be just swapping them. But it was always exciting when a new comic came out, and you felt like at least you could start at the beginning. And I was a big, it was a late 60s, early 70s. I was big into comic books, war movies, monster movies, stuff like that. And this one came out.
Yes.
And
yes.
Was just one of my favorite comics. I finally completed the run. Now I got to sit down and read it. But
it's a great read.
This is such great stuff. I mean, and I got like the first 10 or 12 issues. I managed to get these books, and of course, none of these are the originals that I own. I do know that I have one comic book in my collection. It's from that time frame, and it's probably the only comic book that's irreplaceable.
No, that Invaders run. I mean, I just recently completed that run myself too, including both the king size and the giant size. And it's such a fun series. I really recommend it for anybody who wants to read something different. the different pacing than modern comics, obviously, but it's just a fun read. So good.
It's relatively cheap too. There's no big dollar books in there.
Especially if you just want to read it.
Right.
If you want to get high grade, I mean, there's only like 2 books that are sort of expensive, and that's again, everything depends upon your relative scale of things. But even like that 9.6 Invaders, as I think that's only like around a $300 book or so, and a 9.6, I think.
I don't even think it's that.
You know what?
Much, to be honest.
All right, well, look, Chris, you guess.
Oh, what issue number are we talking again?
Invaders #1.
Invaders 1. Yeah, let's
in a 9.6.
to that great cover. Okay, I wasn't sure if we were going to go the Schomburg book. Okay,
no.
Invaders 196.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. 275.
We're both. I misled you.
I'm thinking like 100.5.
Yeah, it's $150 in a 9.6. The only if they say if you want to get a 9.8, then yeah, you jump to 500. But it's in a 9.4, 9.6, you're talking about 150 to 170 bucks. That's it. It's a great book to have.
Yeah, I wanted to have a nice copy, and I've got a reader copy and I've got a slab copy because I just wanted a nice copy.
Yeah. Even raw near mint's only about $100.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Wow.
And they're out there. You can find them. It's not hard to find.
Yeah, readily. Awesome. I like where we're going with this series.
So as I got a little older, my sister was dating a guy, and he had a brother. His brother used to take his grandfather to the pro wrestling. Mm-hmm. And I was big into wrestling. We'd go to Pittsburgh all the time. And he liked taking me because I'd talk to his grandfather about wrestling. And he introduced me to the fact that there was comic book shops, which I knew nothing about. He took me to Idie's Comics in Pittsburgh, and we would go see a lot of concerts together too. And so going to Idie's, my eyes were open to a few things. They were a comic and a record store, so there were a lot of punk records and stuff. So I was picking up a lot of punk rock and such. And then starting to fill in holes, learning that, oh, hey, that storyline that I wanted, I can actually finish.
Mm-hmm.
But the first year that I went, I got my first copy of the Overstreet Price Guide. And it introduced me to something that I knew absolutely nothing about, never been exposed to. And that was East.
Slow down.
And
well done, Rob. Well done.
Again, this thing's got a World War II plane on it, a guy falling out of it, or tied up, being thrown out of it. This is just right in my wheelhouse, the horror and such. So, love finding these in decent shape. This 2.5 looks a lot better than it presents well. We'll say that.
That's the joy of these books, is they may have. There's a lot of them out there where just because they've been read, they'll have partially split spines and stuff, and it knocks the grade really hard. But the paper quality and the inks that they used at those times were oftentimes much better than they are today, and they really kind of hold up that even a low grade book will look really darn good.
And I really get a kick out of having these old books and thinking about like the kids. Again, like me, swapping comics on the front porch,
right?
Summer day,
out on the stoop.
Yeah, exactly.
I love those floating heads. Can you guys showing off those floating heads there for us real quick? On that EC book, that has floating heads.
Yeah,
there we go.
The Crypt Keeper.
There you go, Austin. That was just for you. Get you that nice close up, man. There you go. Yeah, nice reds. Casually pulls out some EC goodness.
The Jack Davis Jack Davis art, you know, which I think most of us were exposed to him in Mad Magazine. So.
Yeah, phenomenal.
But yeah, so soon after that, I was introduced to the Comic Buyer's Guide. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it was a weekly newspaper that we would get, and there was a comic book convention coming to. You know, I learned that hey, there's comic conventions. Holy crap! So,
Never did he know that one day this would control his destiny and take over rooms of his home.
2 right now. But yeah, there was a con at Duquesne University in Pittsburgh, actually called PitCon. And they couldn't come up with a better name. And Jim Shooter, Dave Cockrum, Len Wein, Marshall Rogers, they were all there. And at this point, I'm in high school. So I'm making money. I had a couple jobs. And the hottest book, the book that I wanted the most, I wanted a mint copy. So I went there with $100 in my pocket to get me a mint copy. And this, of course, is 1980. So I paid $60 for a mint copy, best copy I could find of this book.
Nice.
Yeah! Yeah!
And at the time, this book was the big book to own. You know, everybody wanted X-Men 94 because it continued the story. But this is where all my friends that say, hey, why do you slab books or why do you buy slab books? That mint copy that I bought when I didn't know any better. I get it home. Len Wein and Dave Cockrum signed it.
Oh,
I get it home and somebody hit all of the spine ticks with a black marker.
Oh.
So that was my first experience with amateur
Restoration. Yeah.
You know.
Go ahead, Chris.
Before you put that down, would you mind reading us what's on the right side of the blue label for this ultra important copy of X-Men?
So it says, New X-Men begin, Sunfire leaves, second appearance of Nightcrawler, Storm, Thunderbird, and Colossus.
Awesome.
Second appearance? It's trash. Throw it away.
Yeah.
One of the more valuable second appearance books in the last 50 years. Yeah, great book.
Papa Wheelie breaks in to say, no one loves pro wrestling like I do. Not even Chris and Rob. Simon, we can talk wrestling tonight. Well,
easy, dude. Easy.
All right, Papa. This one's for you, sir.
Time I ever asked for anything I really wanted.
And then Christina Payne slipped into our DMs. Hello.
So, yeah, I paid $60 for that book.
You did okay.
My dad thought I was crazy.
No.
Someday,
everything was relative, yeah.
I would love to find that book. God knows where it is now.
Oh, it's right back there. I see it. Yeah, it's in that box over there.
No, soon after that, though, I did find the book this book.
There we go. Oh my goodness. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Second most important X-Men book ever.
And this book I got for $0.25 at the flea market. Not this copy, but a nice copay.
Okay, not that one.
Actually, probably better than this one, to be honest with you. Back in the day, I mean, my dad and I hit flea markets every Sunday.
You got it for half the cover price.
Half the cover price.
That's one hell of an investment.
Well, yeah. As we get through here and some of these other books. That's one of the things that people always, when I talk to the young people, it's always like, you got for how much?
Right. Everything is relative of what times were, what they were valued at back then, and how people viewed comics at the time.
Yeah.
And everything else. It's completely different balls of wax, but it's still always fun to sit there and go like, if we, because there's always that things like, if I only knew so many different things I've had in my time, what they might eventually be worth. Yeah. Right. I might not have ever played with a single toy ever, but yeah,
my GI Joes are long in the wind.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, so about that, I mean, now we're talking like 1982 or so. I graduated high school and I went in the Navy, ended up on submarines in San Diego, and I would drag my comic book collection all around the country with me. So I had, like probably at that time, 3-4 long boxes, and had a nice copy of ASM 129 and first appearance of Wolverine 180, second appearance 181.
Nice.
And we were getting ready to go on Westpac, and I wanted to buy a new camera body. I was a ship's photographer, and the camera body was $500, and I tried selling my books to several of the comic shops in San Diego. They wouldn't give me $500 for all that. So ended up selling it to a Navy buddy of mine, sold him my whole collection. And thought, I'm 21. It's time to get out of this. But that didn't last too long. I went to San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm thank you, Knucking Futz. Yeah, Mad Spidey. So I go to San Diego Comic-Con, and San Diego Comic-Con was much smaller back then. And you're walking down. I can remember walking down the aisleway and seeing Stan Lee walk towards me, and I just kind of give him the head nod. I'm not gonna bother him or anything. He's, for all I know, going to the bathroom or whatever. But somebody was with them, and I didn't know who it was. And somebody behind me goes, "Hey, that was Jack Kirby and Stan Lee." And they're like, "They're not getting along that well." I'm surprised, So it was always stuck in my head. But I always like supporting the smaller artists and the smaller brands and stuff. So I walk up to this table. There's two guys standing there. That nobody's at the table. They got the first 3 issues of their magazine out, or their comic out. And I was poor. I probably got $20-$30 on me if I'm lucky. And the first issue they wanted $10 for. I'm like, no, I can't swing that. So I picked up the 3rd issue and had them both autograph it. And that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 3.
Ow! And boom goes the dynamite.
So, of course, this is not the original one. Mm-hmm. I've sold my collection a few times for various reasons. But yeah, it was just really cool. We just saw Eastman at Terrificon this year. I didn't really get a chance to talk to him.
But before you put that down, I kind of, Rob, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm kind of feeling like we've had a little bit of a run on Turtle books on some recent episodes. Would you mind reading us what's on the right side of the blue label for issue 3?
Pin-up by Matt Howarth and wraparound cover.
Yeah. Important book, but not a distinct key.
No. I have had a number 1. Worked a deal with it for a FF49 a couple years ago at Terrificon. I'll get another eventually, but so
don't you sit there? You wish you had $10 back then, huh?
Man, I would bet it was probably third print, to be honest. But even then, yeah, for $10, be nice. But another thing was, it was always nice to go there because I would get to see my head the right way here. Dave Stevens. I get it right.
Yeah.
He would be at the con every year. Nice guy. But yeah, so that kind of end of the 80s, and I sold off all that stuff. So then 89 I get out of the Navy in 88, end of 88, and buy a house, move here to Rhode Island. My wife's from here, and just kind of got the bug. I went, hit a couple comic shops, and kind of thinking about some of the titles that I really liked. And this title here, I just completed, thanks to my friend Dave. He's a big fan, but always wanted this book. And just as a kid, I always wanted one, so I never owned it. And I'm like, I've got to get me a Conan #1 now.
Yeah, it's
It is a book that I actually have I've had on my hunt list for a little bit. Like, it's perpetually on my list of books that I'm always like, it's on my radar, but yet, well, I've found several copies along the way. I've just never pulled the trigger for various reasons or whatnot. But it's there on that list perpetually.
Right. Yeah, we all have those books, right?
Yeah.
I've got a few that I'm thinking of that I've never owned that I want to get someday. And they're not necessarily even expensive books.
Yeah, but
So-
I think this and Mr. Miracle 1 are like books that like are habitually every time I put them on my list, and there's always something else comes up when I'm at the con that I end up getting instead.
So you talking about Mr. Miracle 1 from the 70s?
Yeah, the original. Yeah,
Okay, the Kirby stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, so 89, I start collecting again, and I guess eBay didn't come about until what, mid 90s, I guess. So
Yeah, well, it would have been it would have been in the night because you had to wait get the internet
right.
mass population first. I believe probably was around 96.
Yeah, so I'm thinking probably late 90s. I was surfing eBay, and I would look at collections to see what was coming on, and people weren't buying collections per se. And I bought a short box. What's that?
Originally started in 95 as Auction Web,
Okay.
but they renamed to eBay in 97.
Okay, so I'm thinking this would have probably been 98 or 99. And here we go. I bought a short box of #1 issues that somebody had bought, and like they would have multiple issues. So there were 7 Demon #1s, 5 Miracle Man #1s, I think 11 Luke Cage Hero for Hire #1s.
Nice.
Just a whole bunch of that type of stuff. 70s Bronze Age #1s. That's all it was. Short box, $400. So I'm down to 1 Miracle Man #1 now, but I'll keep an eye out for you, Rob.
It's like I said, it's one of those when I'm at cons, either I see it, but I end up getting something else, or I don't see it, and so I end up getting something else. But one of these days,
Yeah. So I really started getting into. I had a couple good comic shops, and I had a pull list going, and I think that was the first time I ever had a pull list where I was getting books constantly. And I think just in the back of my head, because I always had a hard time getting complete stories. That's why I always like the #1s and starting at the beginning. I got on board with Valiant when they first started. And my LCS is like, hey, this is coming out. Jim Shooter's doing it, And so I had all of them added to my pull list. And, we're in Valiant's in for maybe a year or so. They've been putting out books, and they were super hot. Everybody wanted them. And I walk into my LCS, and he goes, "Hey, you've got all the Valiant books, right?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Would you be willing to make a deal? And or would you be willing to sell them to me or do some trade?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do that. I'm not that attached to them." And I read them. I'm good, So I brought him in, gave him all my Valiant books. And he goes, "All right, here's how much credit." I forget how much it was, maybe $400, something like that. So I went, "Okay, here's what I want. I'm going to take Avengers 2, 3, Cap 100, Hulk 102, and Avengers 4.
Yes.
So
Nice.
I think I did pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. Not bad for some Valiant.
From some books now that you can find in the 50-cent bin.
So, inquiring minds want to know: did you give up your copy of Turok 1 and amongst all that trade?
All of it. It all went.
Did you happen to have any of the gold special edition number ones though?
I did not.
Okay.
No, it was just the standard issue stuff. They did have I've always been good about not cutting things out and such. So they did have the coupons in it and such.
But in fairness, what he said was Valiant was absolutely the hottest thing going, especially those gold editions of the number ones, if you're fortunate enough to get it. But yeah, Valiant was incredible at the time. But
and this stuff wasn't that expensive at the time,
right?
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
But I just picked this one up a year or so ago. But that copy. But I love that book. Always one of my favorite covers.
It stays right up there.
Yeah. So about 1993, I built up a pretty good collection, probably somewhere between 15 and 20 long boxes. And my wife and I had our first child. I needed to buy a pickup truck. And a year or so before, well, I guess it was like 1990. I was working for an air compressor company. My father-in-law was building a manufacturing plant, and he wanted somebody to do the piping, the air piping. So I would leave work and go to his place and work until 10 o'clock or so at night, piping in his plant. And when all was said and done, I wasn't expecting anything. He's my father-in-law. I'm just doing it because he's my father-in-law. He walks up to him and he hands me $2,000 cash, which in 1989, 1990, that was quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
So I took and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to Boston. I'm going to the con, and I'm getting my Amazing Spider-Man number 1. So I went there, and there were 3 copies. There was one that was really beat up. There was one that was about a 4.0, and then there was one that was pretty high grade. And the pretty high grade was $1,800. I had the money in my pocket, and I'm like, there is no way I can justify spending that kind of money when we just bought a house,
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward I ended up buying the middle copy. I paid $400 for it. So $400 for a 4.0. And it helps to be old.
Exactly. Timing is everything, right?
So I buy it, I have it. I'm still trying to complete, at that time I'm trying to complete my Amazing Spider-Man run. At that point I got down to needing 14 issues. And then it just really became a matter of I need a truck more than I need comic books. So, and the comic books are probably the most valuable thing I have to be able to sell. So I sold my Spider-Man 1 and several other books, and just kind of set back a little bit. And I still continue to buy. I still continue to read and stuff. But then, things kind of come and go. And, I built up a pretty good size collection at that point, not as big as the one I have now. But eBay starts coming around and the slabbed books start becoming popular. And I got a promotion at work. And at this point, I've got two kids, two daughters. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start buying books that I like, kind of as investments for them. And I was buying slabbed books because I'm still remembering that X-Men 94 that I bought that was restored, and I didn't want anything restored. So I picked up two X-Men 94s, two GSX ones. And again, these books were not that expensive when we're talking 2005, 2006. And I picked up this book here. I picked up two copies, one in 8 and one in 8.5. This is not one of those books. This is probably the lowest copy I've ever had, but everybody has to show this book on this show, I think.
Oh my.
The second appearance of Wolverine. But, it's one of those books that I think everybody, they want to have it. They have it. And
it's arguably one of the top 2 to 3.
Yeah.
You're trying to take if you're taking the Mount Rushmore of the Bronze Age, this book is definitely one of those books on that Mount Rushmore. I mean, there's just no question about it. And as much as we want to joke about first appearance, second appearance, whatever else, this is the money book. This is the book that people want. It's the cover. It's
a better cover.
He's on the cover. He's fully featured throughout the story. 100%. It should be the money book comparatively. And it's just a phenomenal, fun, iconic cover at this point too.
Yeah, Jim at Bronzeville Comics has been doing a really cool series where he's been putting the books each year. He's doing each year, and he's doing like the highest number of books on the census.
Mm-hmm.
And this book and I'm pretty sure it was ASM 129. The two of them are right up there. And again, the big bronze books. But this one had he only does the blue labels, and this one has a lot with the stamp cut out.
Yep. Right. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of them missing the Marvel value stamp. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's not don't get us wrong. Just because it's one of the big books in the Mount Rushmore, it's not a rare book. No, every show you go to, it's readily available. It's just a question of whether or not you're willing to pay what they're asking.
Yeah, it's a popular book,
Mm-hmm.
It's blue chip.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
It's a blue chipper. Book.
Yeah, it's a blue chipper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just finally look, after years of saying I didn't really even care about it, I even finally acquiesced and picked up a copy this year. So
yeah, that one there I picked up. Shout out to one of my LCS's, Time Capsule in Cranston. Rob, we worked a deal. I picked that up at the peak of the pricing.
Of course.
Of course. But I worked a deal because I had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle still on the card, and it was something special about it, and he wanted it. So that was part of that and some cash, and I got me a copy in the collection, filled that hole.
Awesome. All right. Well, we got time for about one more, and then we're going to have to take a pause for our break.
All right. So, I guess really at that point there, I sold off. My youngest was going to college around 2013, and I ended up selling off all those books and really had a major sell-off in my collection to help put them through college, which, what they're there for,
To take my money.
Yeah. So that was the next big sell-off. I've never completely gotten rid of all my comics. So I did keep, a lot of the collection, but the stuff that was valuable went, including all the slabs. So 2019 rolls around, and kids are well through college and such. So my youngest wants to go to Rhode Island Comic Con and meet Bam Margera, and that's the only thing she wants to do, you know. So we go. We wait an hour for the guy to show up late, and afterwards I'm like, "Is there anything else you want to do?" And she's like, "Not really." She goes, "We could walk around." So we start walking around, and at that time, Rhode Island Comic Con still had comic books at it. It's mostly a pop culture thing now, but walking through, and I see an ASM 129, and I just got the bug again. It bit hard. So I went on eBay and bought a book that I'd always wanted, and spent more money than I'd ever spent at that time on a comic book, and bought this book.
that was
Where did we go with that story? Here I was.
So there was one of these. Yeah, there was one of these at the con, and it reminded me how bad, I wanted Daredevil. I just always liked it. I love the street characters, It's just some of my favorite stuff. I like Daredevil. I like Spider-Man. I like Kingpin, So,
but not Punisher enough to buy Punisher.
We love the
Punisher.
book. Yeah, we love the book because we both and have said how underappreciated this book is and everything else.
True.
And even though it started to go up and everything else, it's still undervalued to some degree.
It really is.
But man, that was definitely took us on a journey one direction. He said, look over here, look over here. Oh, by the way, I'm reaching around and I've already taken your wallet out of your back pocket. So
it's like train A leaves San Francisco at this time. Train B leaves Toronto at this time.
Good.
Where's train C?
Yeah, my 129 is not graded, so
that's fair enough. All right, guys, we're gonna pause here for our station identification. You're listening to we're gonna, of course, make sure do our due diligence and make sure you are aware, in case you haven't heard me say it before. Comics Curing Cancer coming up October 24th and 26th. That is super quick. If you look at your calendar, you'll realize that's next month. And we are officially with our goal of having all items in for donation by October 11th. Well, we're less than a month away from that end date. And, well, guess what? We're still a little light. So if you guys could do us a favor and think, have I upgraded something? Have I been wanting to upgrade something? Do I have something that I can sacrifice for American Cancer Society? Then reach on out, hit me up, get you the information how you can make donate items so we can use it during the auction to raise money to kick cancer in the ass. We got a big goal to hit. We're trying to keep on our goal of growing each year, or at least hitting what we hit last year. And that's to try to hit $55,000. We raised $56,000 last year. So, guys, to help us out, give us a hand. We really appreciate you guys. And, of course, start spreading the news, spreading the information about Comics Curing Cancer. Make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook because it's that time of year. John, you had something you want to talk about on that topic as long as we're here. I'll make it big again.
Okay, so went to Terrificon this year, and my youngest is getting married in a couple weeks. And so my Terrificon budget was just not as big as I had hoped. But I took the opportunity to actually stay at Terrificon at the casino, which if you ever get the chance, do it. So much fun. So much fun. So much stuff happening after. But this year, Roger, who's one of the 3 Men in a Basement, the 3 Men in a Basement guys, I kind of hang out at their booth a lot. Try to support them and support their they do a swap in the spring that I'm always a sponsor for. And so they had a couple young artists just down from their booth, and Roger commissioned one of them for a cover. So I went down, I checked it out, and I ended up buying some artwork from him. So after the show was over, I said, "Hey guys, I'm interested. I want to donate some things for Comics Curing Cancer. What can we do?" So the first one I reached out to is a gentleman by the name of Christian Santo, and he had this piece. He offered me a couple different pieces, and he's out of Jersey, and it looks so much better.
That looks awesome
in life than it does. I thought it looked. I'm looking at these little pictures, I'm like, I really like that, but when I saw it, it was like, wow.
right.
So that's the first one, and then the second guy, who was his booth mate, also from Jersey. His name's Tevin Isaac. And as we're chatting, he goes, "Well, what do you want me to draw?" And I said, "You're the artist." I said, "You tell me what you want to draw. Let's make it fun, for both of us." So he said, "I'd like to do He-Man on Battle Cat." And I said, "Well, that's not really my generation, but if that's what you want to do, let's go for it." So we chatted back and forth that night. And I said, "Are you familiar with Frank Frazetta?" And he goes, "Yeah, I just went to the Frank Frazetta Museum like last summer." He goes, "I love Frank Frazetta." I said, "Have you ever seen the berserker pose, like where Conan is on the horse jumping into the kind of melee?" He's like, "Yeah, I know that." I said, "What if you do Battle Cat with He-Man on it in the berserker pose?" So he did. And he came up with this.
Oh, wow.
That is phenomenal.
Oh my goodness.
So both of these will be going up for Comics Curing Cancer. Rob, I don't know if I should send these to DJ.
You can send them. We'll talk afterwards.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's awesome.
At a minimum, that's what's coming.
And what's great with that one is, we do have a first He-Man that's in our lot. Maybe or first solo series He-Man, not first He-Man. Maybe we'll have to partner that up with that. Who knows? That's awesome. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Oh, shit. I didn't know. I'm a huge He-Man fan.
Yeah, last year, Mark at Legion got the contribution that I made. I did. I had a cover that was done, and I'm blanking his name, but it was Gambit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, happy to support. Good. It's a good cause.
Thank you, guys. I like comics. That's our hashtag right now for this win. We're gonna pull 7 books from the greatest weekly giveaway box on YouTube. So get that hashtag in while they're cranking that out there. John, you have some upcoming appearances you want to promote?
The only place I'm really on is Instagram. It's just like you see it there, big_daddies_comics. But starting this Tuesday, we don't even have a name for it yet. I'm going to be on Justin at No Good Comics' his YouTube channel with Noah from Broke Boy Comics, and we're going to start a show about music. We don't have a name for it yet. We're still playing around with it. But it has to do with the fact that we're three different generations.
Yeah.
Noah's in his early 20s. Justin,
he doesn't know, so he doesn't know what music is. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm in my 60s. Actually, no, the first album we're doing is quite the surprise and has quite the story. That Noah picked it, and it just kind of, I'm like, you're setting me up, man.
All right.
But yeah, so we're going to be doing that on Justin's YouTube channel, 7:30 on Tuesday night.
All right, cool. We'll have to check that out. Chris, how about you? What's coming up over on the Comic Vet YouTube channel?
Before I begin, Joffrey, you had a typo with yours. Just make sure everyone gets a fair shot here. This Wednesday, it's the return of my birthday. So I'll be celebrating it on Show Us What You Got, which goes live 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, It's an open invitation to everyone to participate in New Comic Book Day. Come on, show their wares and how they support small business. Have a little bit of fun, a little bit of laughter with it. And also tomorrow you can catch me on Ray's channel as we take a look at football and comics, have some laughs, talk about everything that's happening in the world of the NFL, fantasy sports, and take a look at what I just read for New Comic Book Day. Rob, what about you?
Oh, I'll talk about my channel later. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're going to get back. We're going to pull this because we're at 53 out of 53. So 1, 2, 3, wheel of fish.
God bless
We're going to
you,
let this run
man.
around. We'll pull out some books here and we'll get back into the show because people want to see some comics. Our winner is Ryan Riley. Congratulations. First winner today on OnlySlabs. Oops, thank you so much for doing that. Let's go ahead. John, you're going to pull the books for Ryan. What you're going to do is give me a number 1 through 10 from the front, 1 through 10 from the back, or we'll do back to front action. Tell me where to stop and we'll go from there.
Let's do 3, 4, and 5 from the front.
3, 4, and 5 from the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay.
3, 4, 5 from the back.
Gotcha. I see your pattern. 3, 4, 5. Okay, and one more book.
And just let it ride, and I'll tell you when to stop. About right there. Back.
Front or back? Back.
Back.
All right. Mm-hmm. No. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, Ryan, here's what you're getting. First up, you're getting Captain America 257.
That would have been an issue I bought on the stands.
Then you're getting Captain America 183, the death of Roscoe Simmons, Captain America, and the first appearance of the Gamecock.
Gamecock. Going places.
The origin of the New Warriors in New Warriors issue 1. That fantastic first issue.
It's a comic I don't own.
I can remember when this was released. Yeah. This seems to be a constant on OnlySlabs. Issue 1.
Do you like Michael Turner? How about
Nice.
some Michael Turner Supergirl?
There
We
we go.
love Michael
It's a
Turner.
nice cover.
It's a great video.
This is one of those ones. It's like this is actually I think it's because it's the cover appearance. It's a cameo in the book, but first cover appearance. There we go. We get Bishop.
Nice. To me, that's another iconic X-Men cover. It's a great book.
Yeah.
First Silver Banshee.
Nice.
And our final book. Oops. I hit a button by mistake with my hand as I was grabbing this book. I wanted to build anticipation for Chris.
Okay.
Amazing Spider-Man Giant Size Annual featuring the wedding of Peter and MJ. I know if you're a modern reader, you wouldn't understand this book at all. Like, what the fuck? What do you mean Peter married MJ? But it happened, even though Marvel won't acknowledge it anymore. It was the best damn thing that ever happened in his life.
Put that back up. You want to know what's special about this book? This is the one that Gen X got. This is ours. The Boomers got the Invisible Girl and Mr. Fantastic. We actually got a professional designer to do her dress. Ramita did this cover. This was so important that they actually made 2 different covers, one for the direct and one for the newsstand. Yes, Peter and MJ were a thing. I'm pissed
She
off.
showed up.
This book.
She didn't leave him at the aisle like freaking Batman and Catwoman.
And like even the first page was incredible. Like it's just we shouldn't be giving away that book though.
I know. I give that book away way too often too. All right, let me write this down. Ryan, Riley.
All right, John.
And
While
we'll
he's
make sure-
taking care of that, what do you have next for us?
All right, so after that was 2019. I got back into it, and then of course COVID hits in 2020, and that's where I started to get on YouTube, start to follow people, start to get introduced to this community, which I love so much. And I was following Friday nights. I was following a young man, Will, that had he's now Will the Beast, but he was Hero and the Kid back then. And he and his father, who have become good friends now, they'd gone through a rough patch. I just picked up a collection, and first time I was ever actually on a YouTube channel. Didn't have a camera, but I was in the chat, and I hit Will up, and I'm like, hey, Hialeah was getting interviewed, and I go, hey, open that A-OK. I didn't even know about etiquette at the time, and they did. And Will had been looking for this book, and I picked it up in a collection. So I AOK'd it to him. And it's just, it's an iconic book. First appearance of Venom. Issue that I gave him, it was not great. Looked like somebody, probably set a glass in the middle of it. He still has it. But
Okay. If we're going to be doing the whole 180, 181 thing with Wolverine, I'm sorry. This is not the first appearance of Venom.
Nope.
Correct.
It's not.
It's just a cover that is the most celebrated cover in comic book
it's
history.
not only one of the most homaged, it's the single highest graded number of graded copies of a comic book on the census. And it's for a while it wasn't even the second appearance of Venom. Depending upon when you go to, it was 298 was the cameo first appearance where you get his hand, and then 299 was the first full body cameo, and then you get this is the first full appearance.
Yeah, says origin and first full appearance.
Yeah. Well, if it says full appearance, then we'll allow it.
So then, I just I'm a big Spider-Man fan. So again, introduced to Hialeah. He was doing a kind of a Instagram auction one day. I happened to be home from work on a work day. I can't remember what was going on, but I was home, and picked up this off of him, which again, just a nice book to have. Though,
just a nice book to have.
I mean, this is not a high-priced book right now, Rob. It really
no. No, it's not
9.4
in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
No, I understand it. It's definitely not. Matter of fact, I'll plug it away. We have a 9.4 copy that's going to be available at Comic Screen Cancer this year, but it's still a super important book as far as modern comics go.
Yes.
They want to go. Okay, we're getting the ask. There we go. Let's do it, Chris. That we're going to put a value on the 9.4 Ultimate Fallout 4, not John's. We're going to put the value on the 9.4 that we're going to be selling during Comic Screen Cancer.
Oh,
that's yeah. So Ultimate Fallout 4 in a 9.4 CG seed, blue label. What do you guess? And its current market value is.
John is right. The book has cooled a little bit, but again, this is blue chip for the modern age. If you have a chance to pick one up, do so. Do not hesitate. 9.4. $300.
At 9.4, current sales range is between over the last this summer. I'd have to do some, but spitball averaging, you're right in there, about $300. I'm looking at June through the sales range during June through today. So the 90-day run, you ranged anywhere from $349 to a low of looks like about $265. So, oh no, there was a high of 401. There must have been something special with that one. But still, so yeah, I think that it's fair to say the average price is around $300 right
That's
now.
higher than I thought.
Well, it's a great jumping on point for Miles.
If I'm being honest, I prefer this cover.
Yeah, well, that's the one. The second print is definitely the one that's takes that significantly lower.
Yeah,
for sure.
I just love this cover though.
So the Pacholi variant, that's a great cover. I agree as well. It is fantastic.
So yeah, COVID ends eventually, and I was at a friend's birthday party, and it's one of those things where you got friends that have friends, and we're all at that time we were still distancing. We were outside. We were still like standing all around the backyard drinking beer, 10 feet away from each other. And one of my friend, it's his birthday. He goes, I've got like 3 long boxes. My wife wants me to get rid of. Are you interested in looking at them? So I looked at them. I ended up buying them off of him. And one of the other friends, one of our mutual friends, I knew Dave from music, but not from comic books. And he goes, you like comic books? And I'm like, yeah. We start chatting, and now we're really close. But he goes, I can't justify spending big money on comic books. He goes, because I could buy an instrument. And I said, well, you like instruments? He goes, yeah. He goes, I got like a ton of guitars. He's a music teacher. And I said, well, I've got like a half a dozen guitars sitting around that I haven't played in years. I said, want to work a deal for comic books for the guitars? So I got rid of my Les Paul Gold Top and my Fender Tele and Fender Strat and such, and got some really cool books. And someone mentioned earlier, Submariner. This was one of the books that I got in that trade.
Nice.
I completed my Submariner run. I do like. This is just an awesome cover, and to find a black cover and a 9.4 from that time frame.
Yeah,
That's
issue 2, correct?
This is 2. Yep.
Okay. Wow.
So, glare is always a challenge.
But that's all right. There's some good artwork on those Submariner books. Not as good as the Golden Age Submariner. I'm just saying, but hey, still good.
My friend Dave, that's what he collects is the Golden Age Submariner stuff.
Oh,
got a bunch of it. Yeah,
the good thing about that volume is Submariner and Doctor Doom went head to head quite a few times in that volume.
Yes.
So yes, the Golden Age is great. But just remember, we had some great stories out of that volume too.
No doubt. It's just some awesome covers. So, then I go to my first Terrificon, and it was, I guess, 4 years ago, I think now. And comics are at their peak. I mean, everything's exploding, and I finally get to meet a lot of the people that I've talked to online. I've become friends with the guys from Pressable Defects, 3 Men in a Basement, a bunch of those guys. And Matt Forge had a copy of this book. And I wanted this thing so bad. I ended up buying it from him. And he and I both regret the purchase because I bought it at its peak. I mean, at its real peak. So I bought this, and it has resulted in Matt and I chatting about it on occasion. I ended up, I do woodworking. My other Instagram's Big Daddy's Woodworking, but I ended up building Matt's kitchen table. I think partly because he felt bad because I spent so much money on this book.
Was this pre-build-up hype to the show?
This was peak. I mean, this was $700.
Wow.
Which it's like $150 now, maybe. So
yeah, I've never really known the Inhumans books to really be all that.
So this is the first appearance of the new Black Widow, Yelena Belova.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
So she was getting hyped for Black Widow and all of that. And
Nothing to do with the Inhumans. 100% had to do with her. Got it.
All about her. And this was this is my FOMO story. So warning out there, everyone.
But you may have spent a lot of money, but let's be honest, this book is kind of back up on the rise, like with the character kind of being pushed forefront in the forefront for the new MCU moving forward. So we'll see how this participates on any top 10 list. But yeah, COVID was an interesting time.
Yeah, it really was. I'm glad to have it, and it's a great story. Sometimes that's worth it. And I don't plan on selling my books anytime soon now. So
yeah, that's the thing. Is like it's funny. Is like I think what ends up happening nobody wants to overpay for something anyways, but so there's always a money attached to the books. But because especially once you're into the content creation field, there's so much stuff that they're constantly connecting the two to it, that even if you don't care about speculation and quote unquote investing in comics or anything else, and you're just buying books and collecting, it's always hard not to have those conversations about pricing attached to it. Like even this, or showcase stuff. Well, we play guess that value stuff here and there. It's not meant to be necessarily to say, that you should buy this or not buy that, but it's just more like, hey, here's what, in case people want educational, but those educational moments can come off and some people get fixated on that. At the end of the day, if you wanted the book, and that's what the market was at the time, and you still want to have the book in your collection, then it's still the book. The value is it's the book.
And I haven't lost a penny because I haven't sold it.
Exactly.
Exactly
right.
So that's again, that Terrificon's where I met the 3 Men in. Well, actually, I met Otto before that, but met the 3 Men in a Basement. We struck up, friendship. I've been supporting them for a while with their comic swap, which is the comic swap and Terrificon are my two favorite events. In fact, that's where I met DJ Lynx. It was at the swap, and Cliff, Cliff's Comics. I said, I'm trying to complete my Spider-Man run. So Roger's brother had this book, and I picked it up from him.
Nice.
Nice. Just trying to get that run completed. So really happy to, ultimately I'd like to upgrade some of these, but I'm totally fine with these grades.
That's how I am. My copy of that's like a 1.5, and I'm like, well, I want to upgrade my copy for sure at some point, but it's like I was getting it at the time, especially since I bought a lot of mine during the COVID.
Yeah. But the color is really good on this one, so I'm really happy with it.
So if you ever upgrade that one, you reach out to me.
All right,
we'll pass them down the line.
I'll put a note on it. So about that same time, I was following Comic Tom, and I was doing the Comic Tom, getting the monthly thing from him. Yep. And my wife and I really got a kick out of that, just seeing what would come in and such. And he had these golden tickets where if you got 4 slabs, 4 book slab by CBCS, you got a 5th free.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first time I ever submitted to anything. And I picked this up off the stand. Thought it looked like a 9.8. And luckily, it did turn out to be a 9.8.
Oh, yeah.
And I wish I had brought this with me to Terrificon this year, because we ended up sitting at the bar talking to Humberto Ramos and Scotty until at 1:30 in the morning. Just one of those crazy things that can happen at Terrificon.
And
so love this book.
That's a great series. I thoroughly enjoy Scotty Young as a writer. Strange Academy and The Me You Love in the Dark. Some great storytelling. So obviously he's known for his distinct style with art or with cover art and everything. But for those that don't know, Scotty Young is a fantastic writer that kind of doesn't doesn't get his his proper nod because his artwork is just so damn popular. But yeah, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Scotty Young is a good dude.
Yeah, he really is. I'm trying to complete Midwest now because I heard that's a really good story. I want to read that.
Yes, like because that book, the one part of the speculation behind it was the fact that it had so many first appearances. It has the potential to be like a future equivalent of a GSX-1 type thing if the storyline ever blows up. And of course, we've already seen one of those characters now show up in the MCU, and there's been rampant speculation that it's a series that makes sense for Disney to eventually approach, simply because it's youth oriented. It's kind of ties in that wizardly stuff that you could have some fun with it. So we'll see. Who knows?
Yeah. So again, the community, Will and Sean, who I'd met, were at Terrificon, and I end up meeting Tony Oldwolf.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wait till you hear where this story goes.
Or just did he take you out for chow mein sandwiches?
I am familiar with chow mein sandwiches. I'm not with them, but I am familiar with them.
Oh, yeah. Well, fair enough.
Yeah, we could last all day if we get on that subject. But
yeah.
So I meet Tony. I meet Kevin, Karate Kevin, Kevin Vidania, Dave, who's Mark Spector Comics. Met him there, and all these guys are local. So we ended up with I learned that that Dave's birthday is the day before mine. So we all got together in Connecticut, hit a couple comic shops, and traded a few books, and went out and had a drink and a burger and such. So it became kind of a thing that we're trying to do regularly. And so last year, we had a big Scotch tasting here at my house. So I actually invited Tony over to drink at my house.
What hole is where in what wall?
Yeah. And I've got about 10,000 comic books in the basement that are doubles, that are stuff that I'm trying to sell off and stuff. So they came over and we did a bunch of trades and such. And Mark Spector, Dave at Mark Spector, he had, or he was wanting a Marvel premiere first appearance of Iron Fist. And I said, well, I've got one, I think it was an 8. And he goes, well, I brought some books, so maybe we could do a trade. So I'm like, yeah, I see that Marvel premiere everywhere. It's not a hard book to get. And I thought these were kind of interesting. So I did post this one recently on my Instagram. But this is a Wally Wood cover. And as I'm starting to get into the Golden Age a little bit more, I thought this one's nice. It's got the woman in the red dress trope, and I just like the Wally Wood art. So kind of a cool book. Again, the grades are always a little hard to chase on the Golden Age stuff. But
John, what year is that book?
I'm sorry?
What year was that book?
1951.
Oh, 51.
And I can't even find price comps on it. I have no idea.
Older books like that, they're really, it's so difficult to do that. So yeah,
but just a cool book.
Yeah,
and, always a woman in a red dress. That's true.
And then picked this one up in the same trade. Not the war comic by this artist that I want, but the first one I've ever had. This is Alex Schomburg. So kind of an oddball war comic. And then he
did a lot of like comics that were not necessarily fictional, stuff based on various. He did a whole thing on real sports or something like that,
right?
Too, and stuff. So there's a lot of those like people who are into that artist. You can get some good examples really cheap because those aren't as desirable or sought after as some of these others. But we are getting close to the end here, so we're gonna have to
this is This is my last book.
Whoa, perfect timing. Look at that. Like we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
The trains will be on time.
So, yeah, again, the comic community, Instagram. I ended up on Instagram because of Skeet Ulrich, the actor. I was talking to him at a show, and he does woodworking. And so that's how I ended up on Instagram. I never thought I would get on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then through that, I've gotten into the Instagram comic book community. So my friend John, who his handle is Good Comics Memories, he had posted, like I'd never even seen a picture of him. He collects the Marvel 25 year anniversary covers. And he posted that he needed the Ewoks issue.
Oh, jeez. Yes.
The Star Comics ones are the hardest to find.
Yeah. So as it worked out, I'd just been on a 3 Men in a Basement comic crawl, and we were in Sarge's basement down in Connecticut, Sarge's comic shop. We're down in the basement, and I'm digging through boxes, and there was one in there, and I chucked it in the box. Well, Sarge always gives us a good deal, so I got it for a real good price. So when John's like, hey, this is like the last issue I need, I'm looking for one. Does anyone know? I said, I've got one. I'll send it to you. Just give me your address, and I'll drop it in the mail. He goes, well, I'm in Jamestown, Rhode Island. I said, dude, I'm in North Kingstown. That's right across the bridge. Now he's a Marine. I'm ex-Navy. So we got together at a local brewery here, introduced ourselves, met, had a beer. I gave him the book. And since then, he's kind of become my business partner, and selling comic books once in a while at these small shows. And so he knew I was collecting, I'm working on ASM, trying to complete the ASM run. And I was down to 2 issues. And he goes, hey, are you going to be around? I got something I picked up I want to show you. So I'm like, yeah, I'll be at the house. So he swings by, and he has this all wrapped up, and he goes, Merry Christmas. So he proceeds to
smoke if you got 'em.
So now I'm down to 1 issue.
I think that wasn't. I can't remember. I think for a while this was the last issue I needed in my run when I was picking up my first 100.
It seems like there's a story for this issue for everything, because I had this issue sitting in my U.S. postal box during COVID with the border closed and couldn't get to it forever.
Wow.
When I finished my 1 through 50 run, this one was sitting in the United States, unpurchased, and I couldn't do anything about it because the pandemic was happening, and both leaders decided to shut the border down. And
that's a banger of a book to end us on. We appreciate you there so much, there, John. You know what? I never acknowledged any of the channel members, so let's do the channel member acknowledgement first here. Let's start off with the Henchmen. Thank you guys so much for your continued support and monthly contribution to Comics Curing Cancer. All right, and let's thank all those Goon Squad members: Dale of Suspense, DJ Links, Dr. Von Hoot, Legion of Comics, Stephen C., Justin Birch, Letters, The Comic Vet, Austin LeMay, Mad Spidey, Collecting with Thurs, Chuck Hensey, Lone Eagle, Comiverse, Deadman, Anachronic Comics, Colossus Collector, Team Ohana, still only 35 cents, Cliff on Comics, Bearded Comic Bro, Never Could Figure It Out, Daymares, The Adventurous Joe, Valenrook, Jay Knows the Way, Ronnie Johnson, Comics on the Edge, Omnibo, 1063 Comics, Silver Eagles Comics, Sal's Comics Corner, and the Kingdom of Nerds. Thank you guys all so much. Of course, you can follow or go to comicscuringcancer.org and pick up that C3 art book. If you haven't picked up a copy yet, there are still some available. Along with it, The Crow, The Dead Time Sumerian, with that cover art by Ace Continuato. 150 copies donated to Comics Curing Cancer by Big Time Collectibles. There's even a bundle you can get the two together, save a little bit of money. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and acknowledge Jay Knows Away dropping yet another $5 super chat. You know what sucks? Buffalo cancer.
I thought it said bye, but okay.
Buffalo bye? No, I think it's bleh. Yeah, here you go.
Bisons?
Banger. Hashtag comics curing cancer. Let's put that in there. You can get yourself that chance at another seven books pulled from the comic box. This box is getting pretty light today. As I'm noticing these right now, there's a high concentration of bangers. We're going to have to reload it tonight over on Mad Spidey's. You can check us out over there tonight over on Mad Spidey's Outback. But for myself, of course, the channels, we're creeping up on 6,000 subscribers. That's insane. You guys have been phenomenal. Thank you so much for the crazy growth recently. We've got the very surprisingly popular Only My Slabs as I've been creeping through my books this week by week, 12 slabs at a time. We'll be doing that bit for a while because 1,200 slabs, that's a few episodes. Assuming I don't add any more, and that doesn't happen. I got new comics coming all the time. Monday, I'm going to be opening up a $200 comic book mystery box from Exec Collects. And let me tell you, I did well.
Nice.
So check out that box. That's a phenomenal box there. And of course, Only Slabs will be back again next week, as we do every Saturday. Chris, we're going to do something we haven't done in a long time.
Oh,
it's a 2-for-1 as we have a Century of Comics join us. Two gentlemen that run a Century of Comics together. They'll both be joining us simultaneously, bringing crazy comics here on Only Slabs. So come on and check us out again next week. Same slab time, same slab channel. All right, let's see how we doing here on our run. We got 54 entries out of 63. We do ship globally, 55 I see there, so very good. Get that hashtag in if you haven't done it yet, because you've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And round and around, and where she goes and where she stops, well, the internet knows. Our winner this go round is going to be this guy, Nucking Futz 1. Nice. Congratulations. I'm so glad it wasn't Nucking Futz 2. I hate him.
Yeah, and hate's a strong word.
Yeah, it is. All right, Chris, let me pull book 3 as we go through
book 3
from the back.
And eBay was founded on my mom's birthday in 1995, September 3rd. Let's let it ride.
All right.
Stop. In those two books. Stop. In those two books. And let's take the very last book closest to the wall as number 7.
You got it.
Watch your back.
Interesting.
That's not the term I would have used, but congratulations, Nucking Futz.
All right, here we go. We've got ourselves Spider-Boy negative art cover variant.
Mm-hmm.
We've got ourselves some Catwoman, Adam Hughes.
Ooh, nice Lone Wolf and Cub homage. Nice homage to Frank Miller.
We've got some Mark Spears Monsters, number 6. The Golden Man.
I'm looking at his feet. I'm just pointing that out.
I'm averting my eyes and looking at his feet. Absolutely.
just
Didn't know you were in the feet.
Just making sure there's 10 toes there.
The Amazing Spider-Man. This is the first appearance of the Iron Spider in the third printing.
Solid cover.
Yeah, that's nice.
Captain America 125. So that first 26 issues, I suppose, technically, of Captain America, while the castle waits the captive. The Mighty Thor 372, first appearance of the Time Variant Authority.
Kind of looks like Peacemaker.
I can see
the final book in today's pool for you, we've got Star Wars issue 43, the first appearance of Lando Calrissian, the second appearance of Boba Fett, and the first appearance of Lobot.
Nice.
And this is, of course, the Empire Strikes Back tie-in to in the series run there. So you got the Betrayal at Bespin.
Very nice. Very nice.
Congratulations to you, sir. Make sure, Knucking Futz, that you reach out to me over on Instagram. If you don't mind, hit me up with your address, and we'll be getting those on out to you. Everybody, thank you again so much for coming out and joining us for another episode of Only Slabs. It's hard to believe that we are here over 200 episodes in and still going strong. If you'd like to be a future guest on Only Slabs, reach on out to me. Currently booking for November, a couple slots in November and then into December. So if you want to get on before the end of the year, reach on out to me, and we'll see about getting you on. And until next time, make sure you collect what you want. Don't listen to any of us, especially me. I'm just a fat man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thanks for watching.